Hello there, my Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. How you doing? We're going to do a little bit of a relationship read for you. Chances are, because you know Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces are the last three that I do because I'm a Virgo and I have to do them in zodiacal order. Sorry, not sorry. Excuse me. So, you probably know the format already, but I just feel I'm bound by honor and duty and process to explain what I'm doing because you're Capricorns. My last earth signs of the series. Here we go. This is a relationship spread that I use for myself, a much smaller version of it though. This is a bit more expanded, yet not as expanded as the one that I do for the twin flame relationship. So this is sort of a medium place. Those twin flame readings are long and they're probably good, supposed to be. But I've decided to keep what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down the twin flame spread next time I do them and then do the clarifications on Vimeo, just to make a little extra ching on the side, I won't overcharge. I never do. You don't want to be like $5 for a half-hour clarification or something. You know me. Or if you don't know me, like me, subscribe, and you will get to know me that, I am honor-bound by the gods, angels, and masters to keep my conduct in alignment with my highest truth, which is as a spiritual teacher, a witch, and an intuitive. By the way, if you're new to the channel, my name is Mark Angelo Lyons, Mel for short, the professional witch, professional intuitive, and purple-haired wonder at 51 years old. So, all the info you need to know is in the box below. If you'd like to tip me right now, go ahead. There's a PayPal me thing. It's new. Somebody tipped me off to the PayPal me thing. You don't even need a PayPal account. I've had PayPal for decades now, it feels. And people are like, I don't have an account, and they have to juggle. Now you can just go to PayPal me, right? As well as all the decks that I am reading are in the description box below, as well as my contact info, my website, all that stuff. You know what I mean, Earth signs. It's like we're busy. We're busy. And what I mean by professional intuitive, people are like, what do you mean professional intuitive? It's like, this is my day and night job. Like, I'm always dealing with the intuitive aspect of my life. I'm a Pisces moon, for fish sake. So let's just do your reading, shall we? Enough chit chat. Let's get serious. Why so serious? I blessed the decks. It was lovely, calm, stable. Wasn't expecting anything different. Usually when I'm shuffling, though, tuning to an entire collective, I kind of get, if there are glitches, there are glitches. Just felt really, really smooth and easy. And I actually went, you know how I do. I know how to express my emotions, you think. Let's dive. Ready? Oh, my collective pantheon of angels, gods, and masters. Please give us an archetype, a dominant archetype for this Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in their relationship for the remainder of September 2019. We got the heat nest. Rock on, my goats. So just to clarify, I'm going to read what's written on that card. It's not necessarily an oracle card. It's an archetype card. Caroline Mace, I love her. Talk about a teacher. She's a teacher. Go check out MYSS, Caroline Mace. She's the best. But what I'm going to do is pull one of these for you, which I just did. One of these for the other, the them, and the me, them, us, which is the title of the reading. To clarify again, thank you. The them can be any person, place, or thing. So just keep that in mind as the reading goes. In the first couple of minutes of this, you might not know if it's your reading or not. Remember, I'm reading for an entire collective of zodiac sign, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. It's a lot of people. So if it's not your reading, you'll know in your gut, right? You'll know in your body. A jingly Persephone bracelet on for Capricorn. And then the third one will be for the relationship itself, the us. And then we will build the horizontal line, but we're going to build it vertically, which probably you don't care about. You just like, give me my information, please, and I'll be glad to. Okay, I'm trying to give these cards a good shuffle, though, because I've been seeing so many repeat cards in readings. It's not that I'm doubting myself. I know how this works, but still. Let's make sure. Don't you want me to do a thorough job, of all people, Capricorn? So my pantheon of angels, gods, masters, higher selves, please. One card for the them in this us, me, them, involving this Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for their relationship. The remainder of September 2019. You got the god. Now, which is nice because the goddess has popped up in a couple of readings this round. Sorry, pardon me. I don't cough until I start doing these. It's so weird. But we've had a lot of the goddess show up, divine feminine. So now it's nice to see the divine masculine show up, finally. Right, my divine feminines? I'd call that sarcasm, except I actually feel that way. I've been watching a lot of Downton Abbey. Well, it is a weekend. I love Dame Maggie Smith. We're actually one person, 1 degree of separation between me and her through a dear old director friend I worked with. Let's get the third one here, the relationship itself. Again, collective pantheon of angels, gods, masters, and higher selves, please. One archetype for the overall relationship for September 2019. Midas Miser has been popping up left, right, and center, not just in these video reads this time around, but also with my clients. Excuse me. That we're in a time of high alchemy right now. So the question of being either generous or a hoarder of things or emotions is up for everybody because of fear, right? So let's look at the hedonist. I have the hedonist lifelong in my Chronos wheel. Light attribute inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. Like, hello, in yourself, right? I have the hedonist. Put me at the beach, I'm a hedonist. Put me in the forest, I'm a hedonist. Put me at Saks Fifth Avenue, I'm a hedonist. 5-star restaurant, I'm a hedonist. It's about the appreciation and letting it in. And yes, it's no surprise that there is a female here. Peel me a grape. Not a shock, because it is that divine feminine receptive, and we all have divine masculine, divine feminine energies. Let's get over that by now. I'm never talking about gender with that stuff. I don't care what your bodily gender is. It's a body. Blessed be the body. But your soul is without gender. The soul is the actor that has been male, female, male, female, male, female, life after life after life. So just get over that. And that's how you develop your divine masculine, divine feminine energies, lifetime to lifetime. The shadow side, we know, because hedonism has really been seen more in the negative side for the past, 10,000 years. Shadow attribute pursues pleasure to the detriment of health. Familiar with it. Indulges at the expense of others. Yeah, when I was a teenager, but the gods co-opted me early on. I was like, you can't do that. This is what happens when you do that. And then they drop Mount Olympus on your shit, right? So keep that in mind, that you might be in this for a good time, right? To enjoy, to embrace the good things in life, but also your own beauty, right? Your own stuff. Your own good stuff. Gotta give me that good stuff. B52s. Oh my goodness. This is the first time I think this card has ever popped up in any of these video readings. There we go. One good clearing cough. Don't know what that's about. The light attribute. Benevolence and compassion. Right? Divine masculine. Benevolence and compassion. Recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. Right? Recognizing it, right? Divine masculine, part of the divine mind. It's like, oh, well, the eternal force, the souls, we're all souls. It's fifth dimensional, seeing it, understanding it. Of course, the divine feminine is going to be more feeling it, but we're supposed to balance all that stuff, see it and feel it. Shadow attributes. The shadows are never fun. The lead's never fun. You don't want lead in your system. It's toxic. Britney Spears. They're playing the DJ. DJ Hermes spinning in my brain. Despotism, not just tyranny. Despotism. You despot. Oh, you bloody despot. Look, it's despot. Despotism and cruelty. Using power to control people. Now, who doesn't use their power to control people? Except I wouldn't call this so much passive aggression as aggressive aggression, right, in its shadow. So, I mean, just even looking at these two, right, it's just very divine masculine, divine feminine. Am I going to call this a twin flame reading? No, because this is a me, them, us. But you take what resonates. I'll say what all the other readers say. They say it like rote, right? It's like, take what resonates, it's not your reading. It's like, I hope the people who are subscribing to my channel know better. I've been reading people since I'm 12 years old. I just turned 51 on September 6th, which is hard to say with a gap in your teeth. The Midas Miser, as I said, this one's been popping up left, right, and center. not just in these, but with clients too. Light attribute, entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold, right? The Midas touch. It was Dionysus, my patron god, that actually gave Midas the Midas golden touch and to teach him a lesson. Really, when it takes masturbation out of the situation, Dionysus just said, be careful what you wish for. Delight in sharing one's riches, right? So there is that. If you see this top one, just sort of like, oh, just like really like giving it away, give it away, give it away now. And then we have the miser, which is the shadow side, hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth. Now, considering we've got a hedonist and a god here, as a matter of fact, why don't we do that? So there's our hedonist, there's our god energy, right? So what are the chances that one of you are being the Midas and the other one the miser? Now, I'm not putting them on any particular side deliberately there, right? Because chances are with any archetype, both are active within your field, particularly in relationships. So one of you might be really, really generous, the other one pulling back. Maybe this is a chase or runaway situation. And come on, from the first 3 archetypes down, we can't tell if this is a romantic relationship. Yes, I could feel it out, but then what's the point of drawing cards, right? Let's let the intuition play the game too, not jump to the end. And besides hedonist, would you rather take the more pleasurable, leisurely journey? Sweetie, darling, let me in. All right, my angels, please, one card to clarify this hedonist and this Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sun relationship for September 2019. Music, all right? I'll clarify these 3 as well when they are all on the table. My angels, please, the same for this God archetype in this Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sun relationship for the remainder of September 2019. Healing. All right, so they are either healing someone, healing themselves, but you know, in terms of 5D unity consciousness, when one of us heal, all of us heal. So there's that to look forward, particularly with that God. You know, I have to say, now it's hit me a little differently as I look at it. This other might very, very well be not necessarily just religious, but spiritual. And with that healing thing, they probably have some kind of spiritual healing modality of some way, shape, or form. I mean, come on. Seems like every day, hey, House is cranking out another one. Not to mention the ancient ones that have been around for millennia. It's like, no, now do it this way, which is fine. We're already into new energy patterning. Oh, the 5D is just imploding the 3D so quickly, which is why so many people are coming together, you know, like twin flames and soulmates and blah, blah, blah. People reunite and getting over things regardless of relationship structure, but usually they have to face their internal stuff, right? Their own emotional baggage that rarely has anything to do with the other person. It's just stuff in the cell tissue from the ancestry, going back to Adam. Not that I believe that much in Adam and Eve. All over an apple, really. If you watched Good Omens, don't eat this. Yeah, say that to kids first time on the planet. Don't eat this. Of course, they're going to eat it. Part of that ineffable. Is this the divine plan? Is this the ineffable divine plan? Ineffable. One of my favorite words as a mystic. All right, my angels, last card down for this line, please, for this Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign relationship, please, my angels, one card for the relationship itself for the remainder of September 2019. Retreat. So yeah, there's only 2 ways to read this at this point. One, you're both retreating from each other, going to your opposite corners, or together retreating in order to do something, right? For clarity, for healing, for whatever. But I have to say, with music, oh man, what is it, allergies? I don't have them. Yes, I do. So you've got music, they've got healing, right? So think of that with retreat. Doesn't that sound like you're going somewhere? You know, maybe you're going to go sit in a room with people playing crystal bowls, which, by the way, those crystal bowls are not new. Solara used to have them back in the 90s. And yes, I used to work for Solara. Look her up. If the 1111, everybody goes on about the 1111, she's the one that brought it into the collective consciousness. As well, I believe the concept of first wave, second wave, third wave. Not sure about that. But, you know, it doesn't mean that other people can't access the exact same truth. You can't copyright archetypal truth. So there just feels like something here, like whether you're retreating together or not, there's some healing here. And with music, such an interesting card. I don't really like it when it pops up in my personal reads for myself, but then it totally bears out that I hear like 20 songs that day, either in my head or, you know, I'll put on a YouTube mix or Spotify something, or if I'm driving in the car. And it's like audio tarot, but also hedonist. If you do write music, if you are involved in the music scene, if you write lyrics, whatever, that there's a venue here for you. There's a means of expression, particularly because the them in this are healing. And so if you're on retreat, separately or together, listen to the music. Just listen to the music. Because now we're going to talk to the gods. Now there's only one goddess that sits in the throne of Capricorn, and that is my beautiful lady, maiden lady queen, Persephone. Kore, the spring maiden, flowers grow where'er she walks. Head fecundus. Go read Wintersmith by Terry Pratchett. Head fecundus. Summer lady, deadly. The heat of summer that just like burns forests and gives people heat stroke. And then 6 months of the year is queen of the underworld, sitting beside her gorgeous husband, gorgeous, wealthy husband, Lord Hades. So my Persephone, yeah, you're still you're going down under, girl. Oh, that was the wrong accent. Oh, she's going down under. My lady, soon to be reunited with your husband as queen. One card of clarity, please, for this Capricorn. Oh, I love her so much. This Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign relationship. Please show me the Capricorn in this. Whoa! The Empress. I just can't really. Woo! Go to the gods. Wham! I love you. I love you so much. It's just her totem. It's not like she lives in it. This ain't I Dream of Jeannie. I Dream of Persephone. I made her laugh. Persephone, same thing. For the other, the them, this god archetype with healing. I mean, I know there's nothing like a hedonist likes more than someone's like, you're a god. Woof. Divine woof. So please, one card for the other in this me, them, us with this Capricorn. Well, Ace of Pentacles, new beginning, new opportunity, solid, healthy seed. Very, very cool. This is really cool. So then let's just bang this one out, shall we, Persephone? One final card for this line. This Midas Miser relationship in retreat, please, for the remainder of September 2019. You've got the moon. So look, we'll do this in order. You've got the Empress. Now keep in mind, the Empress is again the divine feminine. Remember how the High Priestess is too. There are other cards that you can certainly interpret as the divine feminine, but I think at least everyone on YouTube agrees that the Empress card is the culmination of all the queens in the court cards. So look, she's giving a baby. She's having a baby on the head of an elephant. That's pretty fertile, right? And with the other in this, with this Ace of Pentacles, a seed to be planted. Use protection if you don't want to get preggers. Just saying. Now again, nothing here saying romantic, sexual, but just saying. But then you've got another major arcana card there of the moon, Yamaya. So with two major arcana cards, considering we're only pulling three tarot for this spread, that speaks rather powerfully for this relationship, though you might be playing mother role, very, very possible, and they might be sort of like, this is a new opportunity, this is something. This is, if they can see this as their healing, particularly a God energy, this could be really, really fertile, really divine masculine, divine feminine, very clearly here. And yet with the moon, I mean, I love the card of the moon, because sometimes when you're standing at water's edge at full moon, the path is revealed, but the path is always under your feet. So what do you do when you're not at the water's edge during a full moon? You know, what do you do? What do you do? You got to go with your intuition. That this is definitely more of the divine feminine's terrain here, that the emotional part of this, particularly the miser hoarding emotions, or the Midas being generous there, it's all sort of in the interior world. That part of the healing process is about loving what rises, right? It's not so much for me about detoxing the emotions anymore. I've been doing it for 20 years, 30 years in one form or another. Ho'oponopono, you can heal your life, right? Shadow work, all that stuff. But the benefit of all of that is there's not that much static on my personal intuitive channel. All of my chakras have intuitive voices, just like everybody else's does. And yeah, we still have to go through some of that purging of cellular blah, 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 because I've heard it called so many different things. Karma, whatever you want to call it. It's being squeezed out from the 5D, anchoring into the 3D. So, you know, to really trust the voice of the soul, both of you. Therefore, that retreat, this might be a retreat to really kind of steep yourself in the emotional part of this. Again, not saying romantic, sexual, not saying together or alone in this. So let's see what the masters have to say, because these last two decks, there's a purpose behind me saving these two for last, because those are the ones that can really say, wow, romance, sex, boo, 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 boo. So I don't like people, I don't want to know that early on. I want to know sort of the more general broad strokes, and then we'll bring it down into the detail. At least that's how I like art, right? All right, before the next reading, I don't know what I'll do. I guess I'll neti pop myself or something. It ain't just the cigarettes. I didn't smoke all that much. I don't smoke all that much. Pretty much ritual prayer cigarettes at this point. Down to under a pack, half a pack a day. Healing God, in case cross-watcher you're watching. All right, my masters, please, one card for this Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this relationship for the remainder of September 2019. We've got some really good cards here. The Hedonist with music and the Empress. Well, control, my darling. I'm having a Janet Jackson moment. Control. Now, we know, I can feel, how much do Capricorns like being controlled? No. How much do they like control? Yeah. Just give you a little dastardly and Muttley there. Yeah. So just keep that in mind. That hedonist, if you're going to control your conduct. If you're really, because with his music and the Empress and the hedonist, it's like, control yourself, but perhaps you might be in this miser situation in terms of withholding. Sometimes that's necessary too. If you've been give it away now in your generosity, and the other, really in any situation, not just this, if it's not in balance, you take control of your life. But in this card, it's just so drastic. I mean, the dude's got her on a leash. That's like unless you're into that sort of thing. As long as it's consensual, darling. Can't be harm if they beg you to do it. It's just me. I totally relate to Lady Mary. Downton Abbey. No spoilers. I will not spoil. Because the gods are telling me all the time in my own life, when I ask them, what's going on? They're like, just watch the movie. Which is very much my mother. Great, they've adopted my mother's voice, which is fine. My masters, please, one card for this Capricorn collective other in this Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign relationship for the remainder of September 2019. Houston, we have a problem. And so they've got a problem. You're dealing with control. All right, well, the womp womps are necessary. Otherwise, you know, there is no grain of sand in the belly of the oyster that makes the pearl of wisdom. Truth. Hard truth. And come on, you're ruled by Saturn. You're okay with the hard truth to an extent, as anybody is. You're sort of the best at it. Slow and steady wins the race. But considering we have healing here, yeah, this one may not be as luxurious as you like. Hedonist might not be as beautiful as you like, but there's a lot going on here that's very rich and worthy. So, my masters, please, one card, an overview for this Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, the remainder of September 2019. And there is a great deal of pain. All right. So you're dealing with control. They're dealing with a problem where just things aren't matching up. Not just between the two of you. I mean, maybe there is an input-output. And isn't that very divine feminine, divine masculine in its way? I mean, except she's got, looks more like she's got the divine masculine side, but there's, so it is. So you have it. The yang. Things aren't coming together, at least right now. You may want to take control, but do understand the relationship has a lot of pain in it. And with that moon, I'll do the horizontal. I'll hold them up as I do. And considering this Ace of Pentacles that's here and you're the Empress, this relationship needs healing and I think is in the process of healing. It's just how generous will you be? How much will you hoard? How much healing energy? How much unconditional love will you hoard, or will you be generous with? Because when you give unconditional love, meaning no actions indicated here, you just keep your conduct in alignment with that highest truth you know at the time, to really know that as you give that unconditional love in terms of the holographic oneness, the fifth dimensional reality of planet Earth now, always has been, that you're sending that to yourself, you're sending that to all of life. And if you can't really get down with blessing them individually, then get into the hedonistic feeling, because it is hedonistic to just silently bless all of life. May you be blessed with all that you need, right? Can you get a more general, and by the way, what a great curse too. Not that I curse people that much anymore, really, if ever, because what, that curse has to travel through my nervous system. Not worth it anymore. At 51 years old, no, I still don't have crow's feet, darling. Let's not do it. Because of that, I'm not willing to sacrifice good skin because somebody pissed me off. Thank you. Let's get these whispers of love going on here. Please, my collective pantheon of angels, gods, masters, and higher selves, the higher selves of all those involved here, please, one card for this Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this relationship for the remainder of September 2019. Do something for someone else. Give your attention to someone else. And not just what I was saying. Even if that someone else is all of humanity. May all of humanity heal, right? Healing. May all of humanity find the time to retreat, to listen to the music, whatever that is. Bless all of humanity. Now, that's not control. That's blessing. That is a form of divine surrender. And really, depending on who your pantheons are and what your spiritual practice is, like if you're doing Reiki, that's a Hansha. I still can't say that one. It's really hard to draw. Hansha Shonen. I can say it fast. You know, there's just all sorts of ways to do that, right? You're not going to be burned at the stake for it. You're going to try and burn me. You're going to have to get through my wall of lawyers. Do you know how many lawyers I have that are loyal to me? Well, in my family. But because I bless everybody, I'm not trying to cut anybody out of the unity consciousness, because you can't. You just can't. So look at how much power you have here with that Empress, right? The hedonist Empress. So let go of your control, and if you're going to control, say I'm going to control in a way that benefits the well-being of all. I'm going to bless. I'm going to be the Empress. I'm going to be the beneficent one, right? It's just interesting with that God energy there. So let's look for that, the other. So please, my collective pantheons, angels, gods, and masters, please, one card for this God archetype in this Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign relationship for the remainder of September 2019. Act as if your partner is here. Whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they are with you and will always, so you will always consider them, right? So, yeah, you two may be in separation. This very well may be a retreat from each other, particularly act as if your partner is here, which indicates that they're not, perhaps for the remainder of the month. So you doing something for someone else too might very well be somebody else than this person to distract yourself. But remember, you have so many options as long as your intention is to do something for rather than to. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No, that's too many. So let's get our last card down, and then I'll do the horizontals. I'll show you. So please, my collective pantheon of angels, gods, masters, and higher selves, one card for this Capricorn relationship, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for the remainder of September 2019. Appreciate this moment. Each and every moment has an opportunity to grow and find love. And that's perhaps what this retreat is for. Because both of you are in pain here. I'll show you what I mean. So here, you're the hedonist with music, right? Whoa, whoa, listen to the music. But with the Empress there, really amplifies that hedonist energy to me like 10,000-fold, right? But then there's a control thing. Now, if you're trying to control the voltage of that, I get it. Bless anyway, right? Bless. I accept that I do not know how to handle all this voltage, all this emotion, all this extra in my life right now. So I call upon the gods to help me, heal me, do it through me, do it for me, show me what to do. I'll do it for the well-being of all that I am now, so motivating, right? Quickie, right? It's because sometimes you can just go, help, right? But how can you control and channel that? Do that. Do something for someone else. Makes sense? The god here. In healing, maybe a god of healing. Maybe you're dealing with an Apollo archetype that just popped into my mind. What you say up there, my sunny boy, my sunny love. Yeah, heal my cough, whatever this is. That a god of healing or a god in healing, right? But maybe a beginning of healing. Maybe this is new to them, Ace of Pentacles, and maybe this is a physical healing thing for them, because there's definitely a problem there. And the guidance for them is to act as if their partner is there with them. Now, if you're their partner, I mean, you're certainly their partner in this reading, but if this is a three-way thing, whatever, and again, nothing here saying specifically romantic, sexual, that you're going to have to determine for yourself, but don't try and fill in blanks that, aren't there either. That's an intuitive process, which is certainly indicated here because we've got this miser Midas thing. Am I going to do generosity or am I going to hoard? Both of you, the relationship itself. So there's a retreat there to kind of get that intuitive clarity, because on the outside there's a lot of, particularly if there's ghosting going on, then there's all sorts of mystery and secrets, and I don't know and I don't understand, and it's all cloudy, which is causing a great deal of pain. Now, by the way, just because I said ghosting, which I think is just the biggest runaway technique ever, just disappear, right? It's different in the old days where you had to write a letter and hand it to somebody to put on the Pony Express to get to them. It took years to find out you were being ghosted. What if the Pony Express got bitten by a snake, right? You never knew. Now it's like within 3 days we've been ghosted. Still very toxic behavior. But to get that there's emotional pain on both sides here, and that I'm really getting the emotional pain isn't about what they're doing to you or you're doing to them. It's stuff that was in place before y'all even met, right? Even if this is with your own child or your own parent, this was in place for both of you. So isn't that funny? So that's why if you can appreciate this moment, that there's something in where you are, moment by moment, that there is love here for you, that there is healing here for you. And why? Because you're the Empress in this. With the hedonist, there's something very loving and positive here. So my Capricorns, I wish you the very, very best of the rest of September 2019 in this relationship. May you be blessed with all that you need. But at the same time, do a little blessing yourself so that you can experience the best and the blessed of your life while the landscapers show up. I'm going to end this one right here, right now. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. But for now, my Cappies, hail, farewell, and blessed be.